Hi, I want to talk about microbiology and how marketers have been using it against the American population, specifically in Venice Beach, Marina del Rey area. And when I say marketing, I am talking about one man. His name is the Koch brother, but he's not a brother. You know, they say brothers, but who has ever seen the other guy? Okay, he's just conning ya. Okay, so this is what it means. Okay, since the 1960s, President John F. Kennedy wanted to close down the CIA because of the mind control testing that they were doing. We all know about this, okay? And we all know that Marilyn Monroe was a prostitute who went to John F. Kennedy and, used like this elaborate like seduction scheme. And of course, who disclosed them? The media, or at least one source of media. And yeah, shortly after this, President Kennedy wanted to shut down the CIA's operational research because there was something wrong, and he got killed like a little bit later before he could really like discuss it. He was going to discuss it with the population and telling them specifically what they were up to. Okay, so I've sort of discovered it because I've been spending my time in Venice Beach for a couple of weeks, and for reasons which they're personal and I don't want to talk about them on video camera right now. Yes, I have seen the direct effects of their misconduct or misuse of microbiology against the population in order to create a state of panic. And it is called the sedative effects. Man, they even put up signs talking like when they started doing it, quieting, they call it. Oh my god, it's like weird. Okay. There are two ways in which the human person evolves. They either go up in evolution or they go down in evolution. To go up in evolution means that you have a life of security, of creation, of food, of, like happiness, like of love, of direction. Okay? And this aspires to a higher calling. All of this is responsible from one specific area in the brain called the frontal lobe. And the frontal lobe marries creativity and mechanism. So everything you learn is a mechanism. Math is a mechanism. Like how to tie your shoe, how to drive, like mechanisms. Okay? Creativity on the other side, which means aspirations. Like we're all born with, dreams. Okay, so the frontal lobe of the brain carries these two signals into one cohesive, clear thought of reason. And this is the driving force behind all like man-made essences on earth. Any kind of like anything created, like it is a sense of order and purpose. It is a sense of purpose which creates order because you are building up on top of like you know dreams and like reality are interacting with each other, and this creates a really real basis of lifestyle. Okay, the other way is, man, I like feel so good being right here that I don't even want to talk about the other place, because the other place is the complete opposite. We want to be creative. Okay, talk about it. Okay. The other place is de-evolution. De-evolution means you are de-evolving. In psychology, this is the creation of when a psychopathic killer loses control of the killing methods. And they are no longer able to be orderly about it, so they become rampaged, and this is called de-evolution. Um, yes, and this is caused by degradation, humiliation, and by a lack of reason. So if you do not attain your dreams, if you are not able to marry these two elements in from the left and the right into a progressive, cohesive environment which nurtures your body and those of other people around you, then you create disease, disorder, and chaos. Yes. And this is kind of what the CIA has found out in psychological like terms on the importance of the frontal lobe and in essence how to manipulate the general population into a drunken stupor. Um, yeah, it's a numbing mind effect, and the only thing you need to do this is microbiology. That's it. So this specific research that was done by Dr. Schuler, they understood the importance of it the minute they saw it. And they worked on ways in which to remove these like essential phosphates or minerals and crystalled molecules, heaven sent, who work every tissue in the body. Like they worked really hard to take this out of the food and to take food out of like lifestyle. So who is in control of this? The FDA. So we can pretty much assume that uh, the person who wants to degrade people is working behind the FDA. You know, you can kind of link that back also by intoxicating the population with mind-numbing drugs, which we all know we get those. Doctors have been pushing them on us for like a bit, and there is no like safe way to get off of them. So a direct effect of the FDA. So now are you not only malnutrition and you cannot operate the frontal lobe of the brain, so you cannot make a cohesive, coherent, clear thought in order in which to direct your dreams, your lifestyle to acquire, you cannot move out of place. And now you become a suggestive vehicle, exactly like an animal, because the animals don't have a frontal lobe of the brain. They are reacting to chaos in the environment and kind of adjusting to it and living out their necessities. And this is what's exactly what they planned to do. And marketing media, especially by the takeover of all of these media sources, which the very well documented psychological research on how to de-evolve a human and create mass murderers. Yeah, this is like happening. It's called Rampage, and it's going on in like mine by suggestive like tones and lyrics and like yeah, definitely like the creation of a psychopathic like person who in essence only worked out to remove the phosphate groups from your food source and like your ability to reach your frontal lobe brain, which you know like coming back from living in the beach and like experiencing the direct effects of socioeconomic starvation, like fear, hypervigilance of police music, which targets like suicidal thoughts, and you know, like having just come back, people from war, an endless war, and yeah, there are created in essence the perfect man, it's like disgusting to talk about it because, okay, let me just say a little bit more about that. Okay, when a person loses all hope, like when they don't have any finances, when they don't, yeah, health or people to love them around them, when you are de-evolving by like this suggestive attitude in which you lose your moral compass, and okay, yeah, by interacting with the opposite sex in like unhealthy ways, and this, along with degrading words, um, creates like a very specific brew of circumstances that in which, if they are met with a life-changing event, which, as everybody knows, occur, um, a healthy person with the frontal lobe, with nutrition, with harmony, with like hope and like love, will revert their life, turn around and like apply love and like hope and inspiration. But a person who is always hungry because their body is not able to process the food correctly into all of their um, cells, and that person is already in a high alert state. So, because you're always hungry. So, the research specifically found that if your body is already screaming for nutrition and like water and what it needs, and if you think about it, they've also been like working against you to talk about, like against like that there's a water shortage, and I really want to stress that water is all around us and it is life. You can't take water away. Peace, brother. Burnt up, no, brother of mine. Absolutely not. Okay. When you're already in a hypervigilant state of panic, your body is in a state of panic because it hasn't eaten for a long time, and you are unhappy because you haven't made a clear choice for a long time because your frontal lobe hasn't been working for an even longer time. So, take away your sense of security, make people think other people are out to get you. You have no friends or love or like people to support you because you haven't been acting very well, because you've been in a suggestive tone. Yeah, you've been like out there doing like bad stuff. Then what that means, you don't have a moral compass. So that means a life-changing event comes, and a person that is evolving is like highly dangerous. And yeah, it creates all kinds of like bad things people do during that situation. And I saw the direct effects of this like marketing scheme that like he's created, this like death kingdom in which like people are just like walking around without a choice, without a clear choice, and then like other people are so angry and aggressive, and then they're living out their wildest, like most disgusting, yeah. And me, like as a like person who's just like existing, like to study and witnessing this from my perspective is like the scariest thing I have ever seen. Like, this is psychology, this is microbiology, and it was definitely used against the American people. And ever since I got a hold of these faucets, my frontal lobe has been like clear. I know the difference between right and wrong, and I stand up for justice, for what's right. Yeah, that choice is really clear when your frontal lobe is working. Yeah, all of these things are really, really important, and it all depends upon choice. It's your choice to live out a good life, and it's to live a healthy, drink these faucets, like eat, like make your own bread, like harmonize with people, and like ask for help and love each other. Like, You know, nobody can take love away from anybody. And instead, it grows, and it's not about sex. It's about community. You know, because if you help people in like, oh man, it's like so important. You know, because I wouldn't have made it out of there without help. Nice. Okay. Questions, concerns, or comments, drop me a line. Alright.